Yo guys, it's Market Scraper. So the idea here is that, did you know that Google currently has a car that drives around and it has like two people inside, generally speaking, and this massive camera up top. And I'm not talking about Waymo, I'm not talking about their self-driving cars, I'm talking about Google Maps. Yes, Google Maps. Okay, this is definitely getting into the stick figure lines on a chart talking to you guys moment here, but bear with me. We have two employees driving in these cars, usually, or vehicles, some type of vehicle. And the idea here is that we have these dudes driving in this car times two. This is the equation, and this fancy vehicle also costs Google a lot of money. This is the equation, and Google Maps is still worth, let's say, about $100 billion. This is the opportunity right here. In 2019, it was said that they were probably worth about 50 billion. And I'm saying 2 years later, they're probably closer to 100 billion. Maybe it's 75 billion, but the main point here, this is basically $100 billion opportunity, a potential disruption for the big Tesla. So the question I have here is, why is it that Tesla could potentially take out Google Maps? So the main point here is that Tesla has these things that are kind of like cars, right? And these cars are kind of like their Google counterparts, except these cars are actually free for the company, meaning we have customers that are buying these cars, we have customers that are paying to get autonomy on these cars, and they basically were training our Tesla cars and our fleets to become autonomous all for free, essentially, because we're having people buy it and people drive it. This is great. Well, can we use that same methodology for making a Google Maps, essentially? And this is something that I think we can do. Now, I'm talking mainly about the street view, basically, the view that you guys use to kind of stock the area that you want to go to before you actually go there. So this is a great thing to do. You just use Google Maps Street View, you drop out down your little yellow guy right on where you want to go, and you can see all these things in pretty high definition videos or images, right? So that's pretty cool. Now the question I'm asking you guys is, how come I haven't seen or heard anybody talking about Tesla potentially disrupting Google Maps? Why is that? I'm not sure why that is, honestly, to be honest. I haven't heard anything about this. I haven't seen people talk about this. But the main point is that Tesla has a perfect model where we have customers driving this expensive piece of equipment that are paying for this expensive piece of equipment. And the main point is that potentially this equation is free. And I'm like the best at drawing cars, clearly. But the main point is that we have all these cameras and sensors on this car, and these are high definition cameras. Could we get these images? Customers are literally driving for us, mapping out our roads, and could they get this data and create a Google Maps and disrupt that and potentially get that $100 billion valuation from the map part of the business potentially? This is pretty interesting and something that I think that they can definitely do. Now, here's how it would be done. We have customers filling a lot of these areas, all these key areas of what this map looks like. This is here, this is here, this is where Tesla customers are driving. But there may be a few different holes that customers don't actually go to. And how will we fill these holes that basically we don't have images for these streets? Well, when autonomy is created by, again, yes, that customers are literally driving these cars for free and they're paying for autonomy, making these vehicles autonomous. So basically, these cars, once they become autonomous, Tesla could have their own fleet and tell their fleet to go to these places that haven't been seen yet and basically fill these out and get these images. And we want to be able to also obviously stitch all these images together from all the sensors on the sides of the cars and put them into, so you can have this 3D viewing experience when you're going again to this place. That's what you use Google Maps for, the Google Maps Street View. So this is the idea here. And can Tesla disrupt Google Maps? Basically, yes, with basically customers paying for this setup that Google uses with two employees, remember, in their cars And not only that they have 2 employees in their cars, remember, they have this expensive piece of equipment that they're also making and maintaining, and they're paying for themselves. So this is the equation we want to disrupt to get that juicy 100 bill in terms of valuation of disruption. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is this a dumb idea? Is this a good idea? Is Tesla already doing this? Why haven't we heard more about this? Let me know. And I hope you guys got some value from this content. And if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel for more content like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.